Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Atha yoganuशासनम् yogaschitta vritti nirodhaha tada drashtu swarupe vasthanam vritti sarupyamitaratra vrittayah panchatayah klishta klishtaha.
Now, before we move to the next sutra, Vritti Sarupya Ittaratra, we have to answer her question. We cannot forget it. So what her question was is very important, and you really need to understand why we are saying what we are saying. She's saying, but how did you establish that this Atma, that unchanging reality, is only one? That was your question? Okay, so now, come on. Your chance to show off your knowledge. Her question is,
according to Buddhism, there's nothing but unchangeable.
Yeah.
So according to Buddhism, everything changes.
Yes, exactly. See, this is why what we are trying to do is, see, unfortunately, I am not here to teach, then otherwise what happens, the whole discussion goes from Buddhism, do something, then, right, but you're right, there are so many people who believe that there is no such thing called a non-changing reality. That's so true. But actually, if you look at yoga, yoga is very clearly saying that the person stays in one's own true nature, right? So they are talking about this non-changing reality. But the question is, how do you establish this first, that there is this consciousness? See, that's why what happens is, all these logics that I'm showing you, you have to use. Because if you don't use, to change your view of reality, you will remain exactly as what you thought. See, these logics are not something which are just, suppose you use this Anvaya Vyatireka, right? what you will understand is, so suppose you use this methodology, right? That first I have to be there to see that I am sad. Suppose the sadness goes, what? And if I also, there is nothing else, then when this comes, there is nobody who comes to know this. So what you need to know is, there is a presence because of which you come to know thoughts and also absence of thoughts. Suppose I ask you, right, that think of a horse. Now the thought of a horse has come. Were you there before the thought of a horse came or not? Yes. Suppose now I ask you that, okay, don't think of a horse, think of a cow. So when the horse thought goes, are you there or not? Yes. And after the horse thought goes and cow thought comes, are you there or not to know its presence? Yes. So that means I'm using this methodology of Anvaya and Vyatireka.
This means I am not my thoughts.
Superb. Right? That's exact. I'm using this methodology to make you see that you are not your thoughts, because before the thought came, you were there. While the thought is there, you are there. You don't depend upon thoughts. Thoughts depend upon you for knowing them. Right? Even when the thought is gone, you are there. New thought comes, you are there. There is this non-changing presence, whereas the thoughts which are changing, they are coming and going. Yes? So this is a methodology that we use to make you see that you are other than your thoughts and you survive your thoughts. The thoughts has gone. If you also disappeared, then what? Who will know the cow thought? Horse thought, along with the horse thought, you also went away. Then the cow thought, who will know? So that is what we call a non-changing reality. So that's what you need to understand is, between two thoughts, I am there, even that thought is not there, and you are there, right? So exactly, so you, in meditation you have thoughtlessness, suppose, you are there or not? Very much, right? So that's why you say, I had a great meditation because I had no thoughts. Right?
But you can only say it as possible. You cannot say it if you suppose you're meditating, you're like Jana or somebody. You can say ex post, I was there meditating. But during the state of somebody, you're saying that I'm there.
What are you saying?
It's only after.
Yeah. So
What
that
has
means
happened
so
that you
that
can
you are
say that.
actually proving me even more. What you are saying is, after the thoughts, the thoughts resolved and you are still there. So you are actually saying what I am saying.
But only ex post. But only after.
Yeah. So while there were no thoughts, you were not thinking that I am thinking, but you were there or not.
But I was not thinking I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. So that means, that's exactly, please understand, you're proving my Anvaya Vyatireka. You're proving my Anvaya Vyatireka, because what you're saying is, I was not thinking is a thought, before it came, I'm here. This doesn't require this can come and go, this remains. Very easy.
Same with sleep. I had a
Same
good
with sleep, exactly.
Yes.
Same thing. Right. Okay. Now we have to answer one more question she asked, and then I need to move to the next sutra. Okay. Now, now her second question was, okay, first of all, there is now I'm showing that, okay, there is something which is not changing, because of which you come to know these changing things. The second question she had was, how do I know that it's not many and it's only one? Was that your question? Yeah. Okay. Good.
There can only be one, because if you would have a clearer description of the eye, like the eye is big or small or whatever, then we could compare it to something else. And because it's uncomparable, because it doesn't have any attributes, even if we say an attribute like never changing, because we have to speak about it in a way. And now I lost my track.
Very good. Wonderful. You were doing superb. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, my consciousness or my awareness is connected to my body and my thoughts, my minds. And this is,
So this is now, I can't reteach everything. And see, the thing is, now it's true that it seems connected, right? Now the glass seems connected to the blueness. So here also your awareness seems connected to your body and mind. And this is why we are living with ignorance, because the nature of mind seems to be what my nature. Right? Now what was this exercise for? You have to follow what I'm saying, right? If you don't follow what I'm saying, then what happens is I cannot show you what I want to show you, right? So this whole exercise was for what? Make you, because we think of ourselves as body and mind, right? This is why we are stuck with all these attributes. Now suppose by doing this, I see that these are all the what attributes of not I, but the objects, right? So that means what we say is what the bodies have many attributes. Your body is different from mine. My body is different from hers. So bodies and minds have many different attributes. Awareness has no attributes, as you were saying, right? Now if awareness has no attributes, right, because all these different attributes belong to objects and not to the subject. Now if you were to make a statement that there are two subjects, the only way you can make the statement logically that there are two subjects is to give different attributes to one awareness and different attribute to the other awareness.
So just to make it more concrete, so then you will say there are, for example, two consciousnesses. So I
One
will
is
tell
blue,
you,
one is red.
even simpler. So you will say there are two consciousnesses. So one is here and one is here. Okay? So what is this attribute of location that you are giving to this consciousness? Does it belong to consciousness? Or does it belong to what? To what this attribute of being located in this place, it belongs to what? Tell me. It belongs to the body. So you are distinguishing, you are saying that there are two different consciousness. One is located here and confined to this body and mind, and the other one is there, but it's on the basis of an attribute which is in the category of object. You
but
see?
when you have, this attributes is only true for big objects. So when you have very small objects like an atom, like the hydrogen
Yes.
atom,
Yeah.
and how do you tell one atom from another? They
Very
have
much.
different
There are
attributes.
some now. There are some microscopes which are like going into that level of, let's say, visibility. It's easy. Even science can distinguish. Yes. Yeah, they can show you. You see two atoms and the configuration of a certain thing. They will show you. But this is not the point. The point here is that you are giving to distinguish or to claim that there are two or more consciousnesses. You need some attributes to distinguish them between each other. Okay. These attributes, if you give any attributes, now Neema said, oh, there is one consciousness which is very evolved, which is very pure, devoid of any jealousy, any resentment, who is very full of compassion. This is this consciousness. And the other consciousness is a consciousness here, which is like a little bit like subject to lack of concentration and so on. So you are distinguishing these two. Okay? You say that there are two because there are two different attributes. But these attributes, they belong to what? Do they really belong to consciousness? Give me on what basis you can distinguish. Then we'll show you that it will necessarily fall in the category of object, which you have said that it is not. Right? This is a very simple logic, very powerful, a very simple logic.
Yeah.
And can we use the analogy of space?
Yeah.
Not here the space, everything is accumulated in space.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like it's a special space here with Eva, and a special space in the bottle, but we can see it's one space.
Yeah. This is a very common example that in Vedanta we use because it's an easy, good Carl, it's an easy thing to, visually it's easy to understand. Because suppose I say that this is a glass space and this is a little, what? This is called
Cup.
what? Cup space, right? This is a glass and this is another type of, it seems as though there are two spaces. In reality, how many spaces are there? One. Right. Now, if that you have a problem, then I don't know how to teach because there is one space, right? Is it or not? Yes. So now it gives an appearance of that there are many spaces, but it's not something that what in reality there are there is only one space. Now you tell me, if there is only one space, why do I refer to this as a glass space and this as a cup space? Why?
Ignorance?
Okay, good. Yes, there is an ignorance, but at the same time there is an appearance, right? There is an appearance because this cup, see, there is inside this, there is a space, and here also there is what? Space. So that means this space visually seems to be confined, that is an experience of everyone. But in reality, there is only one space. So what we are trying to do is to let the visuals not fool us. Right? We are not trying to change the visuals. But the visuals lead to conclusions which are erroneous. So what we are trying to do is, this is why the thoughts that you have to help you to see your true nature. You come back to the second sutra. What is the second sutra? Chitta vritti nirodha. What does it mean? Use this amazing thinking faculty that you have to figure out your true nature, which is already free. It appears to be confined, but it is not. By using your thought processes in a certain manner. Okay? So that's why, see, this is, I can't make you all enlightened people in 2 days, so that's very over ambitious. So I have to, you can, right? But the thing is, you need to think about these things, think about it, because everything that I have said, there is nothing for which I have not given the logic. If your mind is not able to yet assimilate logic and to move to another paradigm, you need to give it a thought, it's fine. And if you think that this is not a sufficient logic for you to move to a new paradigm, that's fine also. I don't have any problem with that. Okay? So, yes.
And it really, you need to have patience with yourself, because it's not complicated what we're doing here. It's just ignorance is so so imprinted, it's so deeply rooted that we can't imagine that it will go away or fade away. But after hearing it for a second or third time, it's getting easier and easier.
Right.
Because every time you're teaching, you're removing another layer
Yes.
of ignorance. But you need to have patience. It's not a day, an instant thing happening here.
And also, see, not only you have to, you need to have patience, you have to have willingness to follow this methodology and go along with the methodology and let it do its job. It's amazing what it can do. If you keep resisting this methodology, you don't follow the logics and the certain contradictable truths, and you keep coming back to what you think is right, the most competent teacher will be standing in front of you and it will not happen. It's impossible. So therefore, you need to, what I'm doing, I'm making a lot of effort, right? All these different things, you can't keep going back and negate the whole thing and ask me the same question again. I mean, yes, that is, of course you can. You have all the right in the world, right? But as a teacher, I mean, I have a limitation of time, right? So otherwise I can again and again, teach you again and again what I'm trying to say, but that facility I don't have. So I have to move because I think I have done sufficient job that is within my capacity, within my time constraint, to make you give some, strong logic, to little bit shake what you think. Now just give it a thought, right? And use all these methodologies that I'm giving you, because if you don't use these methodologies, then you stay where you are, and that's okay, then I can't do anything much about it, right? And as Tobias says, relax. See, see, I'm teaching you, you are free. Where is the resistance? You should actually want to learn, right? You are trying so hard to prove to yourself you are not free. So that means, first of all, look at this mind. This is what we call ignorance. It's not comfortable the way it is with its self-identity. Somebody shows it, hey, this is identity is not really your identity, you are much more than this, and you still want to stick to the very identity with which you are uncomfortable. You don't want to shift to a new paradigm. This is what we call ignorance. This is how it is, right? So now, doesn't matter, we have to keep trying. As Tobias says, relax and try, so what? Right? Now, the next, Surya, do you want to do meditation in between?
You would like?
6 o'clock is we finish at
Maybe 10 or long, 15 minutes or something.
Now? Can you do meditation now or later?
No, now.
Now. Okay.